Hey guys, I'm Kelsey Capps, reader-in-residence at the Wild Detectives, and this is Wild Books. Before we get to books, I want to tell you about this great event that we're having on July 19th at the Texas Theater. Not at the bookstore, Texas Theater. So the New York Times featured recently 6 op docs, specifically done by Mexican directors. We're going to be showing all 6 of the documentaries that the New York Times featured, and we're going to have one of the directors, Diego Rabasa, there afterward to talk about his film. He and his brother run a major publishing house in Mexico, and so it's a great way to talk to them about all of their projects, from documentary filmmaking to book publishing. So we'll be there at the Texas Theater, July 19th. I hope you guys come around. Good morning, good morning. What's that from? Our book of the month is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Now, the main thing that you need to know about this book is that it was written by a poet. So you already know going in it's going to be really elegant and beautiful, not necessarily easy, not like it's a hard read, but like emotionally easy. This is not a book for the lighthearted. The format of the book is essentially a series of vignettes, and they're all from his perspective. So it's an I novel, but it's kind of broken up into these chunks where you can really see that he's struggling through, thinking through what it's like to be an immigrant in America, what it's like to be a young queer immigrant in America, and a ton of the book is really about his relationship with his mom, all the things that he saw his family go through when they moved here, and what it's like to recreate an identity as an American Asian immigrant. One of my favorite aspects about the book is that he really focuses in on his relationship with his partner. He doesn't just meet this like random white guy on the street, right? Like he meets a guy who works in agriculture. They have this experience where they're working in fields together. He's a rural kid, his family's kind of broken, and he ends up getting involved in the opioid crisis. It's all these different layers of like what it means to really integrate into America and see uniquely American problems through an immigrant's eyes, and it's just so well written. Our next book is the first graphic novel of the year. It's by Mira Jacob. It's called Good Talk. She's written for all these different publications, but what I love about it, besides the fact that the artwork is amazing, she does this sort of collage situation where you have the characters who recur and their picture stays the same, but she does all these different really realistic backgrounds. I feel like I'm in an elementary school class. Pan it for everybody. Okay, the whole thing is centered around a conversation that she had with her 7-year-old son during the election. So you get this blend of both her experiences with her family who's from India, as well as her 7-year-old son who is a child of a white father and an Indian mother, and him trying to figure out where he fits in that narrative. And honestly, you know, it's her process of figuring out, how do I talk to my son about this really difficult conversation about racism in America and where our family fits. So it's about how to talk to kids, how to talk to yourself, and how really to talk to the nation about a really difficult topic. Last book is a volume of poetry, and I'm a little ashamed to admit that I'd never heard of Jericho Brown, but as soon as I finished this volume, I immediately went to Goodreads and like earmarked everything he's ever written. So this volume particularly focuses on race, his experiences as a black man in America, but it seems like he writes about a wide variety of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to getting into his entire body of work, but it's incredibly powerful. I think everybody should read it. And honestly, I can't really sum poetry up very well in a succinct way because it's not like a novel. So I'm going to read you a poem. Where do I go in this shot? Yeah, is it okay? The poem's a little long, but it's worth it. So if you don't want to listen to it, you're the worst. It's called Bullet Points. I will not shoot myself in the head, and I will not shoot myself in the back, and I will not hang myself with a trash bag. And if I do, I promise you I will not do it in a police car while handcuffed, or in the jail cell of a town I only know the name of because I have to drive through it to get home. Yes, I may be at risk, but I promise you I trust the maggots who live beneath the floorboards of my house to do what they must to any carcass more than I trust an officer of the law of the land to shut my eyes like a man. Of God might, or to cover me with a sheet so clean my mother could have used it to tuck me in. When I kill me, I will do it the same way most Americans do. I promise you, cigarette smoke or a piece of meat on which I choke, or so broke I freeze in one of these winters we keep calling worst. I promise if you hear of me dead anywhere near a cop, then that cop killed me. He took me from us and left my body, which is, no matter what we've been taught, greater than the settlement a city can pay a mother to stop crying, and more beautiful than the new bullet fished from the folds of my brain. Read it. That's all for this month, but I wanted to remind you guys that we have our usual programming. So on Sundays, we've got Kids on the Cliff, which starts at 11 a.m. Come get your kiddos read to. Then every second Wednesday, we have our poetry reading, Inner Moonlight. But we're always having things going on, so you can always check us out on social media, our website, or you can follow our newsletter just to see what's up. We'd love to see you guys. Make sure you come by and say hi. I don't know if you do it.